Former Idaho Senator Larry Craig's infamous sex scandal in a Minneapolis airport bathroom more than a decade ago made headlines around the world.
His 2007 arrest for supposedly soliciting sex with an undercover officer ultimately ended Craig's decades-long political career. But years after leaving office, 7 investigators found the former congressman was still spending campaign cash after his public service had ended.
So we asked the question, what was the former senator spending his donation money on and why? Our Morgan Boydston investigated, and she's here now to tell us what she found out. Morgan?
I found the embattled former senator was spending donations from his lucrative campaign account as recently as 2016, long after he was a sitting senator. As we showed you earlier this evening, our nationwide investigation found scores of lawmakers have these zombie campaigns, as we're calling them, and they should be raising red flags at the federal level.
Let me be clear. I am not gay. I never have been gay.
A high-profile sex scandal.
Have you been successful in these bathrooms here before?
That resulted in Idaho senior Senator Larry Craig leaving public office. An undercover police officer involved in a sexting operation said Craig touched his leg under the bathroom stall with his foot, which supposedly meant he was soliciting sex.
You said our feet bumped. I believe they did, because I reached down and scooted over. And the next thing I knew, under the bathroom divider comes a card that says police.
Craig claimed he had a, quote, wide stance, and it was all a misunderstanding.
I did nothing wrong at the Minneapolis airport.
The former Republican senator was charged and pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct in August 2007, but tried to withdraw that plea once the case went viral.
It is clear, though, through my action, I have brought a cloud over Idaho.
Craig didn't run for re-election and retired from the Senate in January 2009. In 2012, he was sued by the FEC for misusing campaign donations while still in office for legal fees relating to the bathroom scandal. He was eventually fined $45,000 for violating election laws in order to return about $198,000 to the U.S. Treasury. But the questionable spending from his campaign account didn't stop there. After Craig retired, he started a lobbying consulting firm called New West Strategies. 7 investigators found the campaign account was left open and dipped into as recently as 2016. We found the bulk of his questionable spending happened within the 2 years after he left office. These FEC reports show the former senator didn't give very detailed descriptions of where his money went. FEC reports show Craig racked up nearly $1,000 in meeting expenses with organizations like the NRA during that time. He also paid for a cell phone for nearly 8 months after he left office using campaign donations, with bills amounting to about $2,000, plus nearly $1,000 in office supplies, computer expenses, and other miscellaneous items came at the expense of campaign donations. Yet, the most alarming payments, Craig reimbursing himself multiple times about $4,400 for what's listed as travel and vague non-travel reasons. And under the same vague descriptions, Craig paid his wife Suzanne 3 times, totaling almost $1,000. When we questioned him about it, Craig says it was too long ago to remember specifics, but that those were legitimate expenses approved by the FEC. Beyond that, FEC reports show Craig kept digging into the account, all the while lobbying in D.C., which campaign finance watchdog groups say is a big no-no.
After a few years, it's hard to imagine a scenario where it's justified. It looks outrageous.
Reports show he spent more than $5,200 of his campaign funds on what's listed as office supplies, computer software, and political contributions.
It's not legal to use leftover campaign money in your new job, whether that's as a lobbyist or anything else.
FEC rules suggest former lawmakers shouldn't need more than 6 months to close their account and pay off staff and moving costs. Under the law, donations should be used for campaigning and the cost of being in office. They can also be refunded to donors or given away to other campaigns, political committees, or charities.
The rules don't allow you to use campaign funds for personal use.
We reached out to Craig multiple times by phone. He declined to give an interview or official statement, but tells 7 investigators, quote, I kept my account open because of my fight with the FEC and dispute over the settlement. Retired lawmakers and candidates aren't required to close down their accounts. While his account is shut down now, Larry Craig is just one example of former office holders taking advantage of the FEC loophole that allows them to keep spending campaign cash after their service is over. Several campaign finance experts say a lot of the spending should have caught the attention of the FEC and been marked as potential election law violations.